Die Sprachübertragung beginnt jetzt. Alle Teilnehmer befinden sich im Zuhörermodus.
Hello and welcome to another series, webinar in the OrbEEt webinar series on achieving increased energy efficiency in administrative public offices through behavioral improvements. Today we will have two presenters that will show you the results of the project and the impact that has been reached through the behavioral change measures and tools that were put in place. The organization of the webinar will be the following. I will give you a brief introduction on what are the rules that we want to follow in here. So how do we interact with each other and what is going to happen from an organizational point of view. Then I will hand over to Derry Torres, who is our coordinator, and he will give you an introduction to the project, followed by a presentation and demonstration of results with respect to impact on energy efficiency. In case we have time at the end, we can answer your questions. In case you have any question during the presentation, please use the chat panel at the bottom of your screen to formulate your questions and provide them to us. For the organization, all the microphones have been muted, so there's no possibility to talk directly. Please type any observation or question that you have into the chat window. And an important thing that I would like to mention here is that we will record this webinar to give also others the chance to see the webinar afterwards and investigate in the presented content. So let's now go directly into content, and I would hand over the screen and the presentation to Derry to give us the introduction. Derry, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Wilfried, for introducing me and for organizing this webinar. I'm Derry, and I'm representing a Spanish company named Solintel, who is in charge of the coordinations of this project. Just comment that in the previous webinars, the technical components of the OrbEEt system were very well explained by Costas from Hypertech, Wilfred from BOC, and also by Stuart from the University of Coventry. And also, I want to say that if you want more information about that, you can always visit our portal sites and check out in the section downloads and then webinar tabs. So today I will present a general overview of the project, and this is the table of content of today's presentation. Firstly, I will present some information about the project, and then I will explain why OrbEEt needs to be implemented in the public administration. After this, I will summarize the OrbEEt concept, and I will describe briefly the modules of the project. I will present the pilot sites where the OrbEEt systems were deployed and some OrbEEt impact in the chosen pilot sites. After this, my colleague Ivan from Balkanica will explain you the main achievement of the OrbEEt project regarding the disseminations and communications activities. Some OrbEEt facts. The full name behind of the acronym OrbEEt is Organizational Behavior Improvement of Energy Efficiency Administrative Public Offices. This project is placed actually in the founding program of the Reducing Energy Consumption and Carbon Footprint by Smart and Sustainable Use, the framework of Horizon 2020. Currently, the OrbEEt consortium is composed by 10 different partners from 6 different European countries. And Solintel is in charge of the coordination task in this project. And if you want more information anyway about the project itself, you can visit us our portal web. It's orbeet.eu. Why OrbEEt? Because most of the energy use and consumption in public buildings along all life cycle stages occur during their operational base, accounting around of 80% of overall consumption. Within this percentage, at least 70% is caused by the occupant's behavior and real-time control decision. Also, within the context of business operations executed in the building, accounted actually more than 50%. So the occupant behavior is a significant determinant of building energy uses. Additionally, measured energy use of building exhibits large volatility, even between buildings with the same function located in the similar climates. Actually, the office, including public administrations of buildings, of course, represents more than 25% of energy uses, thus holding increased potential for energy saving around of or up to 50% using determined strategies. Taking into account all these and giving the trend towards low energy buildings that reduce fossil fuel use and carbon emissions, for instance, the actively engaging occupants during the building operations is critical to achieve high energy efficiency without sacrificing their comfort or productivity. So it is really needed to provide a framework to address all these detected problems and observed needs. So the concept of the OrbEEt is simple. OrbEEt establishes a holistic organizational energy performance that will build on top standardized energy performance rating practice by incorporating business and behavioral information. This will be realized through the fusions of three groups currently actually disjoint. First, the building operational rating, business process modeling, and organizational change. The picture here shows basically the different components of the OrbEEt system. It is mainly composed by three layers. The top layers here includes two separated functionalities, namely the energy sensing and analytic and the business processes modeling. This process modeling layer would be implemented by the BOC Adonis tool. The middle layer incorporates the system enterprise operational rating framework, which will generate enhanced display energy certificates, or name it commonly EDEX. In the bottom layer incorporates the interface to the system users. The energy saving and analytic layer is basically responsible for the extraction and collection of all energy related information necessary for the system enterprise operational rating, COR. The extractions will be achieved via the deployment of the meter sensors. The meter sensor in the workplace premises. The Adonis tool will be used to comprehensively map and document existing business process models of the pilot organizations. In the second step, it will be extended so as to become the foundations for the system enterprise operational rating framework. The system enterprise operational rating framework, named COR, is the core of the project OrbEEt. Is the components which collects and aggregates all informations ranging from energy analytic, business process and building informations in order to generate the EDEX certificates, which will provide a dynamic view of the energy use of individual building, offices, business processes, or organizational units. The lower layer comprises the gamification and behavioral change, and the impact assessment tool provides the interface of the COR. It is distinguishing between employees who are the targets of the behavioral change campaigns and individuals who are responsible for coordinating the campaign or keeping the building in operational state. The picture here shows different modules of the OrbEEt framework, addressing, as I commented before, the two different target groups. The three first modules on your left regard to the end users, and the other three modules on your right address the technical responsible. The first module, the main functionality of the IDEX are basically to provide the user interface to building occupants, either web-based or through mobile applications. This provides a visualizations of real-time informations, the energy consumption, CO2 emissions, for instance, and also we can visualize here the main business process, the human preferences, and the real-time of the KPIs. The second module, the portal, the main functionality of this is to provide personalized access, to provide or to facilitate us to create a user profile, the energy consumption statistics. We can use a forum, and also the wiki and help and training and setting to give us the opportunity to change our user preferences. The main objective for the third module addressed to the end users basically is the interactions with the final users and to engage them. The game itself consists in to escape the hostile planet in the fastest time possible. To do that requires three things, basically: repairing the ship, gathering enough resources to survive the trip, and keeping your team of astronauts alive. This last thing, I mean, the gamification, this module game was very well explained in the previous webinar by Stuart from University of Coventry. And once again, you can find it in our portal web. The fourth module, named IMEL, this layer is responsible for collecting energy use data from the deployed devices and pre-processing them for enhancing rating generations. The COR layer is responsible for aggregating data from various sources, processing and cleaning and composing input for visualizations and behavioral triggering. Adonis, the last module here addressed to the technical personnel, is a business process model that helps organizer, expert, and business analysts to improve corporate performance and provides a very powerful interface for IT implementation. These last modules were also explained as well in the previous webinars by Costas from Hypertech, and you can check it in the OrbEEt portals. The evaluations of this system holds a significant positions in our project, since it comprises the means towards validating cost effectiveness, techno-economic feasibility, and the impact generated by the project. In consequence, the OrbEEt system is validated in real life using 4 different and dispersed areas addressing the needs of different system users: the Imperial Palace in Innsbruck, Austria, the Health Center in Erlangen, Germany, the local municipality in Penin, Bulgaria, and in the local municipality in Esparrena, in Spain. In order to show very shortly the impact of the system, we are taking the case of the municipality of Esparrena for these presentations today. The pictures on top are how the display energy certificates, IDEX, in real time look like. This is a screenshot from the display installed in the premises. In this case, it's for a specific office of this municipality. And in these pictures, we note a significant decrease in energy consumption from taking the data from June to August. It's a sign of the behavioral change of the users. But in this table, the general results are presented for the different zones, different debates, and different periods of the project demonstration. For these impact evaluations, we proceed with a comparative analysis between the actual data, it means after OrbEEt system deployment, and the baseline or initial values toward calculating the actual savings. For the heating, we have around 23%, and for lighting, we have almost 30%, and 5% in other sorts of uses. In conclusions, we have saved in our project in a total for this municipality around 22%. And now, let me turn back to moderator, to Wilfried, to introduce Ivan's presentations about the dissemination's achievements of the project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Terry. As already introduced, I will hand over the screen to Ivan now. Ivan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Wilfried. Thank you very much, Terry. I'm Ivan from Volcanic Energy, and we are the partner that deals most with the dissemination activities of the project. In those, the next 3 slides, I will very briefly walk you through what we have done in terms of disseminating the OrbEEt project and many of its results so far. Needless to say, the whole consortium finds the activity of dissemination to be of particular importance, since in this way we can actually maximize the impact of the project to the general public and all of its stakeholders. In those 3 slides, you can see that based so far we have been actively publishing information about the project, and so far we have a total of 24 publications in various magazines, conference editions, and web editions. Along with up to date, we have 7 scientific publications, which actually are very they vary in terms of their topic. You know, some of them are very they represent the whole project as an overview, but many of them they focus on certain methodologies or techniques utilized that are very innovative. Along with publications, we have been very active in participating in a lot of conferences and events where, for example, just recently we participated in the Web Summit 2017 in Lisbon, where 2 of our partners, Carpetech and BOC, were there to present the project in front of the interested public. Another one is the 6th European Congress on the Use, Management and Conservation of Buildings of Historical Value in Vienna, which is actually the largest congress of such kind on such topic, organized by one of our partners, where we also had a large booth and presentation. And in the case that some of you are in Madrid on the 21st of January, there we will participate in a joint workshop with other H2020 projects, which will deal on the topic of smart buildings and citizenships. There will be a lot of roundtables and thematic presentations. To finish off, we have been active in many others events, just like organizing webinars. This is our 4th webinar, which will be uploaded in our YouTube page, where all of the other webinars are. We have made a lot of workshops, a lot of demonstration events. We have newsletters, and we also have a portal with open references models. All of these, actually, they are available, and you can find them on our website at orbeet.eu, where there are sections for news, where we publish all of our participations in events and coming conferences. Along with, we publish a lot of our deliverables, official documentations, along with our newsletters and many other dissemination materials. Please feel free to check our social pages, where we daily publish information on the projects and interesting articles. And so in case you have more interest, you should be able to find anything of interest in that to you. And this concludes the brief presentation on the dissemination events. Now I think Wilfried you can take the control, and maybe we can address some of the questions and answer session.
Thank you, Ivan. I will take back the screen just a second. and then we will see if we have any questions that have been posed in here. Great, so this should work again. There's no open question that you could answer everything already in your presentation, so thank you very much for the presenters. This actually concludes the webinar that we just heard. Please find in a few moments then the webinar online on our YouTube channel, so in case you have any further detail you would like to address, have a look, get in touch, and have a nice day. Bye bye.